Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle Fondin. I'm an author and speaker, and welcome to the Divine Feminine Empowerment Vlog episode number 3. And today we're going to talk about why most twin flame channels have got it wrong. Now, I'm not bad-mouthing other channels per se. This is not a roast of other channels. It's just a subjective observation of why most twin flame channels have gotten it wrong. And if you want to know why, please do stay tuned. If you're new to my channel, thank you for subscribing below. Click on the bell, scroll up to all notifications. And thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. I'm here with my Padawan Grogu, who you can see over the corner there. I've got my Grogu tumbler with some ginger turmeric tea, and we are just gonna settle in here. I'm gonna move onto my chair a little bit better here, go into lotus pose, and I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about the reasons why I wanted to address this topic. Now, this is not a knee-jerk reaction by any means. I've been thinking about this for a really long time. And most importantly, I've been pondering on it on a very, very, very deep level for the past week. And I hesitated a lot in producing this video because I didn't want you all to get the wrong impression and think that I was just overtly criticizing other channels, or that I was roasting other channels, or thinking that I'm far superior to other channels. I believe that my focus is entirely different than most twin flame channels, but here's why I believe that these twin flame channels have gotten it wrong. And I'm gonna give you the 3 reasons why it's really important first. So the first reason why it's super important is because as a twin flame coach, mentor, as an influencer in general, you have a responsibility to your audience. So that means me, or anybody else that decides to provide content on any topic, but most importantly, we're talking about twin flames, spiritual awakening, divine feminine, divine masculine, and all of the topics that fall underneath that umbrella of the twin flame community and twin flames in general. So as an influencer, you have a really, really, really important responsibility to your audience. And therefore, I feel that I have a personal responsibility to you to help to improve your life on all levels and sometimes entertain you. But for the most part, this is an educational channel. So what I am doing here is designed to teach you something, to help to improve your life, and to not keep you in a holding pattern. Secondly, as a twin flame, here's the second reason why. As a twin flame, you and I both have a responsibility to other twin flames and to the community in general. And if what we are speaking, how we are acting, what our message is, greatly affects all the people around us and is a direct reflection back on twin flames and the twin flame community at large. And so even you, as a twin flame who is listening to this, you have an enormous responsibility to yourself as a twin flame, to your twin flame as a twin flame, and also to the twin flame collective at large, because people are watching, people are looking. And I don't know if you knew this, but most people out there at large have a very, very bad impression of what a twin flame is. And they think that it's something extremely negative. And there was even an article in Vanity Fair put out by a particular twin flame set of coaches. And there is also a very, very negative and very popular podcast out there. Not that I have heard this firsthand, but I have had people who have listened to it firsthand, and extremely credible sources. And they have said there is a wave of darkness over the twin flame community. And people think that it's a scam. They think that it's outright wrong and that people that are in the twin flame community are crazy. So number 2 is you have an enormous responsibility to the twin flame community, and so do I, and anybody else who speaks on behalf of the Twin Flame Collective has an enormous responsibility to uphold. And number 3 is if you decide someday to become an influencer on YouTube or any other channel, or you decide to become a Twin Flame coach, a Twin Flame reader, a spiritual guru, whatever it is, I want to show you by example and to show you the way as far as what is the right way, as far as moving those who follow you to the next level, and what is a way that is going to disempower the people who view you in so many ways. So those are the 3 reasons, and I hope those 3 reasons resonated with you, because I would like to take you to the why of why I believe that most Twin Flame channels have gotten it wrong. But before I get to the actual reason, I want to take you back to your Twin Flame awakening. Your Twin Flame awakening and my Twin Flame awakening brought us to this sense of unconditional love. And more importantly, it brought us to the sense of like spontaneous unconditional love, where it was something that knocked us off our horse, so to speak. We weren't expecting it. We didn't know where it was coming from. It came out of left field. And we had this enormous sense of what it means to love unconditionally and also to receive love unconditionally, which did a lot of things. And one of the things that happened to most of you is you had a spontaneous spiritual awakening as a result of that awakening with your twin flame. The other thing that happened is that you had an instantaneous heightening of your sense of intuition. So there was a lot of stuff going on. Unconditional love, spiritual awakening, heightened sense of intuition, which may have included awakening of certain psychic abilities, intuitive abilities that you hadn't had before, or maybe you did have them or you weren't aware. So a lot of things were happening to you on the twin flame journey as soon as you came upon your twin flame. Now, all of these things that happened on a 3D level, but exacerbated the awakening process on the 5D level or the spiritual level. So really, a lot of this growth was really happening on the spiritual level rather than the physical level. So physically, you may have looked the same. Physically, you may have been going about your life exactly the same, but spiritually, so many things were happening to you. The Kundalini awakening, the heart chakra activation, the lucid dreaming, the 5D communication with your twin flame, this sense of like glow and unconditional love was happening. Your intuition was exploding with messages for you. So many things were happening on the 5D spiritual level for you. So just think about that. Think about all of those things that were happening on a spiritual level when you awakened to your twin flame journey. As that was happening, it was a little bit confusing. It was a little bit confusing because sometimes you didn't know what to expect. You didn't know how to interpret what was happening to you. And so you looked for guidance from YouTube or coaches or readings or whatever to help you understand the process. Now, in my books, Twin Flame Romance, Twin Flame Union, and also in my boot camps and all of my YouTube videos, I've strived to help you guys understand the awakening process and how to move through it by yourself. In other words, we as twin flames are learning to move away from ego and into spirit. What does that mean? It means that we are moving away from fears, anxiety, mistrust, anger, all of those negative emotions, moving into spirit, which includes unconditional love and understanding, surrender, trust, trusting in your intuition and the messages from God that is coming down to you, being able to converse with your angels and spirit guides. And so a good coach, a good teacher is going to guide you through the process to autonomy. Do you see where I'm going here? A good coach, a good teacher is going to guide you through the process toward autonomy. Let me just illustrate this for example. If you are in high school and you have a math teacher and you're learning algebra, trigonometry, calculus, and the goal of that teacher is to teach you the skills so that you can take the test at the end of the year, albeit the AP test, the final exam. It's not just so you can get a grade. That teacher is there to teach you how to do the math problems, how to apply the formulas, how to apply the rules of that type of math and those skills, so that when you are all by yourself and you're all alone, sitting in that room, taking your AP test, taking your final exam, that you can do it without the teacher sitting there beside you. Now, a teacher who adequately prepares their students to be able to solve any of those problems on their own is a great teacher. But the teacher that gives the class the answers, who gives the test questions before the quiz, who enables the students to get the best grades possible, is not teaching those students autonomy. It's teaching those students to depend directly on the teacher to get the answers. It's teaching the students to depend directly on the teacher to have predictability in the answers. And so the best teacher is going to say, look, the AP test is going to throw you problems that you may not be able to figure out, but here are some tools for you to be able to figure those problems out on your own. And in the same way, a good twin flame coach, mentor, influencer, channel is going to throw you the problems and say, look, here are some tools. You're going to have to figure it out for yourself. It's really unfortunate because I am actually talking not only to you as a twin flame, but I am talking directly to those influencers that call themselves twin flame influencers. And I'm calling you to a higher standard for yourself and for your channel. I'm calling you to a higher standard because 90 to 95% of all twin flame channels out there are spoon feeding, and then keeping the viewers in ego-based consciousness. I'm going to show you a screenshot of titles. These are actual titles. Now it's AI software, but I subscribe to, I'm not going to give which service I subscribe to, but it's to help optimize your channel. And they have AI software to generate titles, but most of these titles, like if you look at them, it looks like those are titles that have been popular. A lot of these titles that are suggested, a lot of the titles that are out there are keeping you in fear mode. They're keeping you extremely emotional, and they're catering to that sense of immediate gratification. And it's keeping you in this enabled pattern with your twin flame channels that you watch, because you need to get that next fix to feel reassured about your connection, to feel good about your connection, or to get answers for your connection. Now, as I've mentioned in the past few vlogs, sometimes it's okay to check in with divine guidance to get messages from divine masculine. It's sometimes okay to get divine guidance to look to see how far divine masculine in the collective has come on this twin flame journey. As I mentioned before, there's nothing wrong with occasional check-ins to see where is divine masculine at on their spiritual journey. What are their messages that they'd like to portray to you? So sometimes that's actually okay. What I'm speaking about more is the message as a whole from other twin flame channels. It's almost like the math teacher who is giving her students the answers ahead of time, the answers to the quiz ahead of time, or giving her students the test questions in order to prepare for the quiz or the test. And it's doing twin flames a disservice, because instead of saying, here, let me show you how to open up your intuition more. Here, let me show you the tools to help you transcend your ego more. most twin flame channels are like, here, let me enable you and give you all the answers. Because if you are a twin flame, then you have all the tools within you to find those answers. You just might need a coach to help you develop that toolbox or open up the toolbox and show you the tools that you actually do have. And last but not least, I just wanted to say this, that if we don't demand more by what we view and how we act, then we're not going to get more. Let me explain. I became a vegetarian in 1989, and I also began to eat organic food in 1989. Now, if any of you were alive in 1989 and cognizant of what was happening in the organic food marketplace, there was not a lot. There weren't a lot of vegetarian options as far as food goes, and there were not a lot of options in the way of organic food. And so oftentimes you had to go to specialty stores, very small mom and pop specialty stores. Sometimes you had to go to food co-ops in order to get organic food or vegetarian food. But other than that, you would never in a million years find any organic foods in a mainstream grocery store. And all we had to do was demand, buy, supply, and demand more organic food as a global whole, to start selecting organic products versus conventional products in order to make the people in charge go, oh, we need to carry more organic food, and maybe we need to carry organic food in the mainstream grocery stores. And now you can pretty much find organic food anywhere in any store, because the people that were buying, the people that were paying money, were the ones that demanded it. And so if you, as a twin flame consuming content, if you are settling for content that is going to feed your ego and not help you become more independent on your own, then that is the content that people will continue to produce if they are not operating from their highest spiritual self. But if you demand better content by withdrawing from the content that is only feeding your ego, and that the content creator is not concerned with your higher spiritual self and your spiritual growth and your independence as a spiritual person, then you know the choice, right? You know the choice. But I feel that it is unfortunate to keep twin flames who came to this earth as spiritually awakened beings. I believe it's a shame that we are enabling each other as a collective to keep each other in fear, to keep each other in anxiety, to keep each other in this ego mindset, and to not empower each other. Because the collective is going to go where most people are congregating. Does that make sense? And if most people are congregating on, I need DM messages every single day, that's all I want, give me the drug, give me the high, then the twin flame collective is going to stay there. If the majority is there, that's where the twin flame collective is going to stay, because the collective is only as good as the majority. But those that start reaching higher, they can become the influencers to help the collective reach higher. And it's only going to happen if you control yourself. That's the only way in which it's going to happen. And so what might that look like for you? It might look like you discovering the answers for yourself through your intuition, through people that are actually teaching you how to honor your intuition, to transcend your ego, transcend ego-based consciousness, to not go for instant gratification every day, to get out of that enabled and addictive pattern of needing to feed your anxieties and fears, and moving toward spending some time, quiet time alone in meditation, spending some quiet time reading some good books that are going to teach you how to become autonomous in yourself as a spiritual being. And really, that's the only way we're going to start moving the needle on this collective. And I didn't even know where this video was going, but that's really what it's coming to. It's about moving the needle in the collective. And the needle, as you have been seeing, is moving rather slowly. And I have a distinct feeling that it's moving slowly because a majority of the collective is still an ego-based consciousness, still needing that instant gratification. And the twin flame channels that are feeding them are allowing them not to move. Because as a leader, you have a responsibility. As a leader, it's on you if nobody's moving, right? It's on you if people feel stuck. It's on you if people feel fearful and ridden with anxiety. That's on you as a leader. Leaders are supposed to lead. True leaders lead. Those who aren't true leaders keep their public in fear. And we all know what happens when that happens, right? When that happens, we've seen it in history. Historically, the people that are kept in fear do not develop and grow. They're the product of dictatorships and communism and things like that, right? So, and I don't want to get political about this, but it's really time that as a collective, we move the needle to a higher level. And as I mentioned before, that means for me personally on my channel, and I know it disappoints many of you, that you're really not going to be seeing a whole lot of divine masculine readings. You're just not. I might have, some shorts here or there getting a couple messages, but generally speaking, you are not going to see that because what I am about is empowering the divine feminine, is helping you to regain your power, to stay in power, to be the most empowered version of yourself, so that at least the small number of us who are willing can start to move that needle. Again, it's not going to happen unless a majority agrees to move the needle toward the higher self, the higher spiritual self. But at least we can start here in this channel. So if you do agree, give the video a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Thanks so much for joining me. Thanks for subscribing to my channel below. You can support this channel by buying one of my 10 published books. You can join a bootcamp meditation course or get a reading. And I will see you in the next video.